Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are so.
From Turner Field, it's time for Braves baseball, and it is indeed Sunday Braves. It's the third final and rubber game of our three-game series between the Atlanta Braves and the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers. Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South is brought to you by your Atlanta Hyundai dealers. Make every Sunday a Hyundai Sunday on Fox Sports South. And hi again, everybody. Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, Chip Carey back with you at Turner Field, where the Braves continue what's been a very productive homestand. The Braves still 4 games back in the National League's Eastern Division race. And, fellas, we've talked all series and homestand long about the play at shortstop. My man Chipper Jones calls Jay Soft. Paul Janisch has given the opponents an awfully hard time, hasn't he?
He's been outstanding, guys, and I think what he's doing is exactly what the Braves needed him to do when they got him from the Reds, and that is catch the baseball. He's made one error in his 30-plus games that he's been in the lineup, and at times he's been spectacular, like this great play behind Medlin the other night, and then last night deep in the hole, throwing out a fast base runner. He's been terrific, but now all of a sudden he's beginning to get a little groove going with the swing, too. Couple of RBIs 2 nights ago. Last night, a double in the corner. He's 8 for 21 on the homestand. That's a .381 average, so he's putting a little bat work with the glove work, too. Today, another tough matchup for the Braves, though, and he's going to have some good bat work against Chad Billingsley.
Well, I know Mike Minor is going to be looking for some of that offensive help from Paul Janisch and others today. Although he's pitched well of late, he's been the victim of some pretty good pitching against him. You see his numbers there on the season, 6-9. Been pitching well, but his last 2 outings pitched well. But unfortunately, the Braves didn't score any runs for him, so he's had a couple of tough luck losses. And don't be fooled by Billingsley's numbers there. You see 9-9. He's won his last 5, so he's been really hot. So another good pitching matchup today.
Last game of the homestand, last game of the year against the Dodgers, at least until postseason play could come into effect. And hopefully Atlanta will have a happy flight to Washington with a victory over the Dodgers today. Great day for baseball. We're glad you're with us on Sunday Braves. We'll get to the ball game right after this. Braves on Fox Sports South is brought to you in part by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T, by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. After a rainy start to the morning, the skies are clearing, and it's turning out to be a lovely afternoon here at Turner Field, and a good crowd gathering for our finale against the Los Angeles Dodgers as far as regular season play is concerned. Fellas, it's also the final game of this 7-game homestand, a stretch at Turner Field where the Braves have won 4 of the first 6 games. And a chance as well for Atlanta to put a score on the board in the win column before we head to Washington to play the Nationals tomorrow night in a critical Eastern Division showdown here in mid-August. First things first, we've got the Dodgers here for the third final and rubber game of this set. The Dodgers still a half game behind San Francisco out west. Los Angeles played long ball in the game last night. 4 hits, all of them homers, accounting for 6 runs in their 6-2 victory over the Braves. So Don Mattingly's lineup card looks this way with Victorino, Mark Ellis, and Matt Kemp 1, 2, and 3. Handy Ramirez has had a monster road trip for Los Angeles back in the Eastern time zone. The former Miami Marlin has been blistering the baseball, including 2 homers last night. We'll get a look at Juan Rivera at first base. He's in for James Loney. And, of course, Chad Billingsley is the Dodgers pitcher, and he, too, has been on an amazing roll for Los Angeles. Ed Mangan looks on. Field looks to be in pretty good shape after all the rain, and now the Braves take the field behind Mike Minor, who's looking for his 7th win of the season and his first ever win against the Dodgers. He has faced them earlier this season, but received no decision in the Braves' lone trip to Dodger Stadium back in late April.
Yeah, Mike's been pitching well of late, as we've talked about. You see his splits on the season. First 10 starts, 2-4 with almost a 70 ERA. Certainly has turned things around here lately. Last 12 starts, 4-5 with a 3.2, and arguably his one-loss record could be a lot better than that if he had a little bit of run support, which he hasn't had lately. So certainly figuring some things out and pitching well of late, and hopefully that'll continue. He can get some runs today.
And that leads us to his 4 keys to pitching success. Same thing. First of all, though, command of his fastball. He needs to work both sides of the plate, tries the best he can to stay out of the middle, which, as we saw last night, became a tough place to pitch to the middle of their lineup. And run support. Like Tom said, any runs at all over his last 2 starts, and his record will be much improved. He got shut out by Cole Hamels 2 starts ago, and then got beat 4-1 by the Padres in the first game of this homestand. So a few runs, especially some early runs, would be a nice thing. Let's hope that happens for him today.
The Braves have had an outstanding run defensively during this entire homestand. We hope that continues today with Prado, Bourne, and Jason Hayward left to right in the outfield. Chipper Jones tweeted after the game last night his knees were bugging him a bit, so he'll get the day game after the night game off and get ready for the Nationals tomorrow. That means Juan Francisco is the man manning third base in the series and homestand finale. Here's your umpiring crew for the ball game today. Mark Wegner will call balls and strikes. Wally Bell's at first. Brian Knight is the umpire at second, and Mike Winters will man the third base line. Very comfortable afternoon for this time of year in Atlanta. 76 degrees, the official game time temperature. Somewhat humid with the early morning showers. All in all, a great day to be at the ballpark. We've got a good crowd gathering for the Braves and the Dodgers today.
And as Jerome and Paul pointed out in Braves Live, this could be a deciding game for postseason in terms of home field advantage.
Mike Minor's day begins with a strike to Shane Victorino. Dodgers left fielder 1 for 8 with an RBI in the set. Braves, as you recall, took 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles. They've split the first 2 games here. Out of play to the right side by Shane Victorino, and the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fellas, looks like Shane has much different approach as a right-handed hitter. Left-handed, he is right on top of the plate with that back foot a little further away from the right side against Mike Minor. And a bouncing ball toward third. Juan's got it, and Victorino's the first out.
I think he's a better hitter right-handed. Left-handed, he's thinking pull more than hitting the ball to all parts of the park. That's why he crowds the plate left-handed.
Here's Mark Ellis. Ellis 1 for 9 in the series. That hit a double on Friday night, and he scored ahead of Ethier's 2-run homer. A2's had a good run with the glove as well for the Dodgers. He's made a couple of nice plays at second. And Ellis takes outside ball 1.
Yeah, he's done a great job for them defensively, and certainly over the course of his career establishing himself as one of the better fielding second basemen in the game.
Boy, I hope he's got that pitch working today. Off-speed breaking ball, back door, good pitch.
In the air to center. Bourne came in, now drifts back a couple of steps. 2 outs. Here's Matt Kemp reading the Dodger media reports of this series so far. They say Matt hasn't been quite the same offensively since the brouhaha with the Pirates up in Pittsburgh. He's hitless so far in this series at 0 for 7. He has walked a couple of times and he has scored a run, but so far in Atlanta, it's been a quiet first 2 games.
He may not have a hit, Chip, but in the first game, he was 0 for 4 with an intentional walk. In all 4 at bats, he squared up everything. He hit the ball hard, but right at people.
And the other thing he brings you, you see, as Paul Burt alluded to in the pregame, and with Hanley Ramirez, the way he was swinging the bat last night, you still have to account for this guy in your lineup, regardless of how many at bat or how many hits he's getting, and you got to pitch to somebody.
In the air to right, and Mike Minor should have a 1-2-3 first, and indeed Mike does. Always encouraging when he gets out of the first inning with minimum damage. Braves and Dodgers wrapping up this series in Atlanta. Braves at 70-50 for the season, 4 behind Washington in the East. Bourne, Prado, and Hayward 1-2-3. Freddie Freeman looks for his first hit of the series. He's the cleanup man. Dan Uggla, then Juan Francisco. Good to see Brian McCann back in the lineup. While Giannis has been swinging a hot bat, Mike Minor will face Chad Billingsley, who's on a great Dodger roll.
Right-hander Billingsley, like I said in the pregame, don't get fooled by that overall 9-9 record. He is hot. Last 5 starts since coming off the DL, 5-0 with a 1.5 ERA. So he's healthy and he's figuring some things out. He's been throwing more strikes and pitching phenomenal baseball for the Dodgers.
Michael Bourne will greet him first with an 8-game hitting streak.
Billingsley's fastball in the low 90s, 92, 93, throws a lot of cut fastballs, slider, and a curve. You just saw the curve ball. Out of Defiance, Ohio. He's 28 years old, and he has, I don't know if it's an odd body for a pitcher, 6'1", 240, but it is very compact. Almost nipped Michael Bourne.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Think of a heavy-legged guy like Billingsley. Think about drop and drive guy like Tom Seaver. All the downward force he can deliver. And he walks Michael Bourne to start the game. He hasn't been walking many. But a good start for Atlanta's offense.
His 4 keys to pitching success today: cutter love. Reports are that he maybe throws too many cutters, has fallen in love with it a little bit. And you're right, Tommy, the DL. He was 0-5 in a stretch of games before he went on the disabled list and fought hard not to go on the DL. The Dodgers did it anyway, and apparently it did him some good. The rest for his elbow. He has come back pitching great baseball, including his last start over Pittsburgh. 8 innings of 5-hit shutout ball.
I've already put the whammy on him by talking about how he hasn't been walking anybody. So
that was great. What else you got? He hasn't been giving me homers either, has he?
No, he hasn't. He's hardly giving up any home runs. So don't be looking for the long ball today.
Martin Prado doubled home Michael Bourne in the first inning last night. And he takes downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's only given up 1 homer in his last 8 starts. There you go.
Had a string of 92 innings where he didn't let up a home run at one point. A couple years ago that was, but he's not prone to it.
That one found the mark. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Which the lack of home runs is a little bit odd for a guy that's more of a 4-seamer and a breaking ball guy. You'd think to be a little bit more prone to the fly balls, but even if he is, they're not getting out of the yard on him.
Short lead at first for Michael. And he's back to the first base bag standing up. Frustrating night for the Braves offense in game 2 last evening. The Braves left 11 men on base. They left at least 1 man on in 7 of the 9 innings and were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They really had some chances against Aaron Harang, but couldn't beat him. Harang won his 9th. Ben Sheets suffered his 3rd loss. And a pop fly foul. Rivera gives chase, won't have a play, and the count to Martin now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a good little matchup too between Michael Bourne and A.J. Ellis. He's second in the majors, thrown out 20 base stealers this year. So Billingsley knows that. He's trying to do his best to alter Michael's tempo over there, not let him get a good read, and give Ellis a chance to at least have a chance to throw him out.
Lead for Bourne now. 1-2 pitch. he go? Yes, he did. Martin couldn't check his swing and is retired on strikes. 1 out.
And yes, he did. Good curveball. Strikeout number 124 for Billingsley in 140 innings.
Jason Hayward at 272, 20 homers, 61 driven in, and 1 for 8 in the series. Double play ball, and Hanley Ramirez will turn it at short. So a promising start for the Braves in the first inning, but Hayward's doubled up and we head to the second with no score. I think it's Pittsburgh, isn't it?
No, because the Braves do, and these guys play the Giants.
Who does?
St. Louis.
We play Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Who do the Cardinals play?
Cardinals.
No,
last
final
three
of
of
the
the year. That could be an interesting last 3 days of the year.
Might be the Cubbies.
Oh yeah. When we start talking about wild card and stuff, Gretchen, get that graphic ready.
Second inning, no score in Atlanta. Hanley Ramirez will go to work for the Dodgers first, and Hanley's had a huge road trip and is the subject of our SunTrust solid performance.
Yeah, that's a pretty good road trip there. Pretty good 23 games with the Dodgers, and still within his comfort zone the last 30 games against the Braves, so he's in a good place right now.
I wonder if the Dodgers are going to break out the old Manny Wood signs and call it Hanley Wood in left when he gets back.
That'd be a good idea. You'd like that.
In the air to center. Michael Bourne comes charging in and makes a thigh-high catch.
That's tough play, guys. Hanley Ramirez has just been raking the ball all over the ballpark and out of the ballpark, and he takes a full swing here, but he doesn't hit it very far. That's a tough one to read for the center fielder, and a nice play by Mike.
Yeah, those full swings are really hard, but even that one was not your typical off the end of the bat fly ball. That was a little bit more of a line drive, which made it even harder for Michael to read, but he used his speed right there to close the gap.
3 flyouts, 1 ground out so far for Mike Minor, who faces Andre Ethier, the Dodgers right fielder.
Good spot with that fastball.
Yeah, you locate him there all day long, you're going to have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
One ball, 2 strikes. Ethier, just 30 years old. His 6th major league season. He'll have a seat. Minor strikes him out.
Andre didn't like that, but I don't know what was wrong with it. I guess he thought it was too low and outside. But other than that, Fox Tracks was right there.
Other than that, it's close enough for a strike. Getaway day, swing the bat.
Spoken like a true pitcher.
If he's right there all day and gets the call, then it's going to be a real good day.
I will say that I think this umpiring crew and really this homestand, they've been calling the low strike more so on a consistent basis than I think we've seen all year long.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the most part, you know, hitters would rather swing at that pitch than the one that's chest high, the upper end of the strike zone, and that's more of where the pitchers want to pitch is down there.
Mike breaks Rivera's bat and gets a 1-hopper to short. 6 up, 6 down for the young Braves left-hander. And Freddie Freeman leads things off for Atlanta in a scoreless game. Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South is brought to you in part by the Georgia Lottery, by Jamison Inn, by AT&T Uverse, and by Ram Trucks. Joe Tom and Chip with you from Turner Field. No score. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Freddie Freeman, Dan Uggla, and Juan Francisco go to work against right-hander Chad Billingsley. Freddie Freeman had a spectacular homestand at the plate working until the Dodgers came to town. They've held him down so far. And bounces the first pitch, does the Braves first baseman foul for a strike.
And this is highly unusual. Remember, he has always worn out every team from both leagues that's from the West. Great numbers.
I don't know if that was a curveball that slipped or he's trying to throw an Ephus pitch.
tight. 2 balls and a strike.
Freddie doesn't dive. I mean, he rarely even picks his foot up, so it's not like he's diving into home plate. But there are times where his upper body begins to lean a little too far, too early, and it ties him up inside.
This one bounced off the plate. Hanley Ramirez, funny spin, bare hand, and fires a bullet to first for the first out.
Freddie wants to unload his shoes, socks, and everything else to try to get down the line a little bit faster.
Nice play by Hanley. That was ball took a funny bounce on him and had to barehanded without a good grip and make a quick throw.
Might call it a bare handling play.
Very nice. Hadn't bare handled it.
Here's Dan Uggla. I was wondering at the start of the series how you guys would think Hanley has fared at shortstop. Been playing third base all the time with the Marlins. He's been a shortstop before.
Hasn't been tested too much in this series, but everything so far so good, I think.
I guess they'll have some decisions to make when D. Gordon comes back, and the way Cruz has been playing, at least in this series anyway.
2-0 for Dan. And pulled foul past third. 2 balls and a strike.
By the way, I was talking to Davey Lopes today, first base coach for the Dodgers, about D. Gordon, because I was describing to him how Andrelton Simmons suffered the broken hand sliding into the bag head first. D. Gordon, a head first slide too. Made me wince though. His thumb went under the bag, so that then his hand kept going over the top of the bag. That made me hurt.
Sharply hit. Ramirez. And he gets Dan Uggla for the second out. Base is clear, 4-1. Francisco getting the start at third base for the Braves. He's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Great numbers. And as we talked, I think either right at the end of the road trip or beginning of the homestand about a meeting Juan had with Freddie Gonzalez and Greg Walker, among others, that he was on the verge of not playing his way right out of here, or not hustling his way right out of here, and he's changed all that. One of the things Greg Walker's really worked hard with him on that I think is really paying dividends is that front foot. If one can keep that front foot somewhat closed instead of landing on his heel where his foot's pointed out, which allows the trunk of his body to fly open too easily, when he can control that, he stays on the ball better, and as a result we saw the base hit the left to win the game 2 nights ago.
Popped up toward third, foul ground. Cruz has it. And both Billingsley and Minor are cruising through the first 2 innings today. No score. Game 3, Braves and Dodgers in Atlanta.
The Dodgers, final game of this 3-game series. Welcome back to Turner Field, everybody. I'm Tom Hart. Just moments ago, the guys in the booth were talking about Andrelton Simmons' hand injury. Well, I had a chance to speak with the Braves shortstop earlier today. He said his hand feels better than it looks. What does he mean by that? Well, the Braves medical staff is concerned because they're still seeing some abnormalities in the x-rays. But Andrelton says it feels great. The strength is back. He's anxious to get back and take some hacks and do some work. So he won't be going with the Braves on this long road trip. Will continue to rehab and hope to get back into action. So anxious, guys, by the way, on his way to the ballpark today, he was taking cuts with an imaginary bat in traffic. So if you saw that on the connector, now you know. Chip?
Thank you, Tom. Here's Luis Cruz. And the Dodger third baseman's down a quick strike.
I do kind of a cut type thing when I'm on the connector, but it's not really swinging the bat.
Cruz has had a very impressive series and an impressive road trip for Los Angeles. 11 hits, 6 RBIs. And that dovetails with what Tom was talking about. When D. Gordon comes back, you've got Gordon who can play short. You've got Cruz who can play third. You've got Hanley Ramirez who can play short and third. And he's got another hit.
Well, one thing that I have noticed in this series is he likes the ball down, and they've thrown him a lot of breaking balls down, and he has just dropped the barrel on it time and time again. Maybe not for a hit every time, but he's hit it hard. Might have to check him out a little above his hands.
Which is always an easier said thing than done. A lot of guys just don't like pitching up. You're conditioned to be down, 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 and that's why those low ball hitters are so tough to pitch to, because they force you out of your element.
Pop fly foul off the bat of catcher A.J. Ellis. And he's quickly down a strike.
Watch this pitch and how he waits and adjusts for it. Might have been a changeup.
Yeah, a changeup that, that drifted over the plate on Mike, but still probably below the strike zone. And typically that's a pitch that if the guys do swing, they're going to beat it into the ground. He squared it up.
Mike's given up a bunch of fly balls in this game, a couple of ground outs. And he's facing a Dodger club that's hit into an astounding 107 double plays this year. A.J. Ellis, the catcher, responsible for 12 of those.
Let's make it 13.
No balls, 2 strikes. By comparison, the Braves have hit the 83 double plays this year, including Hayward's in the first.
It's kind of like their home runs, though, last night. Hitting 4 home runs. That had to be a season high for L.A.
It was. And a line drive right back through the box by A.J. Ellis, and the Dodgers in business. 2 on, nobody out, and Chad Billingsley, the hitter.
That looked close. Hanger.
Yeah, Mike, he didn't have time to fret over the fact that he just threw a hanging changeup. He's happy that ball didn't catch him. That was a changeup up over the plate, and Ellis didn't miss it.
Billingsley can handle the bat. And he looks low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Three sacrifices. He's not. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't think he runs real well down the line. And if you're on top of him and he bunts it hard, you might have a shot at a double play.
There's the bunt. McCann's going to fire to third. Safe. Ball dropped anyway, and the Dodgers have the bases loaded.
I thought initially they were going to have a fairly easy play at third base, the way that ball was bunted, but unfortunately it didn't die there. It kind of just kept rolling a little bit that Brian had to go out and get it, and with those extra couple of steps, that was the difference in getting that throw to third base on time.
So that scored a fielder's choice, no sacrifice. And now they correct that call, and it is a sacrifice. And Shane Victorino for the Dodgers has the bases loaded and nobody out.
Well, talk about it all the time in this situation. Can't be thinking in terms of getting out of this inning with no runs being scored. You want to maybe think in terms of one, maybe two, and then if you find yourself in the opportunity to get out of the inning, you go for it, but minimize the damage right here.
Fly ball shallow right near the line. Jason Hayward is there, makes the catch. No advance. One out.
Tim Wallach was so far down the line as the third base coach that he may have deked Brian McCann. This throw comes into Brian, and Brian gets himself in a position to make the tag right here. And look where the coach was. Brian may have thought that was the base runner. I've never seen a third base coach come down that far and that close to the line.
Now you're potentially a ground ball away from getting out of this inning with no runs. Big first out for Mike. And ball one to Mark Ellis. A belt high strike.
Good pitch right there. You know, from a pitcher standpoint, you have to be trying to think along with Ellis in the box, and you know they don't want to pitch to Kemp if they don't have to. You know, certainly with the bases loaded and a run or two in. So you're figuring that as a hitter, they're going to come after you with fastball. So this is a great opportunity if Mike has confidence, and he just did right there in his changeup to go to his off-speed pitches. You might be able to catch Ellis looking for something else.
Set up pitch there perhaps for another one, for another change.
Yeah, if you can go back to that changeup here again, and then, you know, the thing you got to guard against here is you've already thrown him one really good one in the sequence. Don't try to throw the best one you've ever thrown. Just try and throw another good one.
Well, he doesn't want to strike out, and he's got a 2-2 count, so he'll expand his zone a little bit.
Let's fall it off. 2-2.
Well, two straight fastballs away after a fastball in. So to me, if you're going to go back away, you got to go with something soft, or you take a chance thinking he's thinking away again and see if you can lock him up inside.
Lined over third, and then almost picked off Cruz. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Spoiled 2 fastballs away and then turned on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball in. So That would lead you to believe he's still looking heater.
Mm-hmm.
Little pop, foul ground. Freddie Freeman near the tarp will run out of room. It's on top of the Braves dugout foul.
Situations like this, though, where you're still guarding the plate, and I know it's frowned upon for a left-hander to throw a right-handed hitter a breaking ball that's coming into him. But as a hitter, change-up that's staying on somewhat the same plane, I feel like I can get my bat to it, and if I don't put it in play, at least foul it off. Breaking balls altogether, because it's different, because it's changing plane. If he comes back door, I think it's a tougher pitch right now than the changeup.
He missed with a fastball, and that runs the count full. As Ellis, batting in front of Matt Kemp, faces the pitch of decision here in the third inning.
I'd love to see him throw another changeup right here. You know Ellis is thinking fastball with Kemp on deck.
You bet.
Double play ball. Giannis is going to turn it. And Mike Minor pitches out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. And he got out of it with what?
A changeup. That's good pitching right there.
Scouts of all ages for the Washington Nationals checking out the Braves and Dodgers here on a sunny Sunday in Atlanta. And he's a pretty good guy to watch. Matt Kemp of the Dodgers, part of our AT&T Uverse trivia question. He had a 39 homer year last year, named the last Dodger to hit 40 homers in a season. I'm going Joe Simpson.
You can
That's kind of in keeping with all your other picks this year.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're going to get it right, but you can go with that.
Brian McCann leads things off. Brian disappointed, Joe, not to be in the starting lineup last night, but as we've said for the last couple of weeks, his shoulder is problematic for him.
Yeah, he said he has a cyst on his shoulder in a joint and has some fraying of the labrum. I'm not sure that they already knew about the labrum part, but he declared himself ready to play, able to play last night, able to pinch hit. His manager saw otherwise.
And he swings and misses. And that's the second strikeout for Billingsley. One away in our third inning. Fans, you can get a behind-the-scenes tour of Turner Field, including stops at the press box, clubhouse, dugout, and more. Tours start at the Braves Museum and Hall of Fame and are led by one of the museum's knowledgeable staff members. For more information, call 404-614-2311. How many rooms of stuff does the museum have of yours?
Oh, I'm not sure. I know they have one of my Silver Slugger awards. They might have one of my Cy Young awards. I don't know.
Hot smash to third, and Cruz takes care of Giannis, who's been squaring everything up of late. And a bad break for Paul. 2 outs.
I'll say this is right on the button and right to him. As good as his average has been on this homestand, it could have been 3 or 4 more hits.
And that's much like we talk about the lights on night games here for visiting players. That's a tough play as well, a Sunday afternoon for an infielder on this surface. It's tough to see the ball sometimes down here during the day. So that was a good reactions by Cruz on that ball.
Strike 2 to Mike Minor. Like the Borns, our Delta Airlines on deck batter. He walked in his first time up today.
Mike Minor tried to go with the old hit one out and shut one out theory, shut him out theory right there. He tried to go deep.
Not going to happen. Billingsley's faced the minimum through 3 innings. He's got 3 strikeouts, and we still have no score. A whale of a job by Mike Minor to pitch out of a bases loaded, nobody out 3rd inning jam. And that's why we remain scoreless heading to the 4th inning. Visit MLB.com/fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 this year at a World Series game. It's presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Kemp, Ramirez, and Ethier for Los Angeles. Braves in a great race in the National League East with Washington. Seems like the Braves and Nats have matched results almost every day for the last 3 weeks. When we win, Washington wins. If they lose, the Braves lose, like last night, which is why we're still 4 out. Dodgers have a great race out west. They're a half game behind San Francisco and have to pay close attention to the Diamondbacks. Arizona's in third place out west, only 5 games out of the lead. As Kemp hits a mile-high pop, Jason Hayward slowing in shallow right. Kemp is 0 for 2. Change your air filters regularly to help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently. To learn about other ways to save energy and money this year and in the summer, visit georgiapower.com/tips. After this series with the Braves, Dodgers head back to play the Giants. And they'll get Bumgarner, Lincecum, and Kane. The Dodgers will pitch Kershaw, Blanton, and Capuano.
The Giants have an advantage in starting pitching, but the Dodgers have a decided advantage, especially now in lineup, with the addition of Hanley Ramirez and Shane Victorino for the Dodgers and the absence of Melky Cabrera for San Francisco.
Giannis at short takes care of Ramirez. What did the Melky Cabrera story take a weird turn today?
Yeah, it's really getting squirrely. According to ESPN.com service, Melky mounted a campaign to avoid his 50-game suspension that included a fake website featuring a fictitious product in an effort that was quickly uncovered by MLB investigators, according to the New York Daily News. So he was trying to fake his way out of the suspension.
We had Bud Selig in the booth last night. Didn't really have a chance to ask him about this particular situation, but there's a chance he could still win the batting title. Melky Cabrera. And he's suspended. He wouldn't be eligible to come back until a 6th potential game of postseason play. That can't be right.
Well,
one wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so. You're right.
This story goes on to say that Juan Nunez, who had been described by Cabrera's agents Seth and Sam Levinson as a quote-unquote paid consultant of the firm but not an employee, is alleged to have paid $10,000 to purchase a fake website, and the purpose was to fool MLB and the Players Union. Probably not going to work.
Amazing. More good work for Mike Minor. A 9-pitch 4th inning. No score. Top of the Braves order in the bottom of the 4th inning. Michael Bourne leads things off for Atlanta. First things first, our Jamison in upcoming schedule.
Big series beginning tomorrow night. All 3 games on Sports South, beginning at 6:30 with Braves Live. Jordan Zimmerman against Tim Hudson, then Strasburg and Mahalam, Detweiler and Medlin. Big games to say the least.
That's a big one too. You mentioned it earlier this afternoon, Joe. This is a game that could mean an awful lot as far as postseason positioning is concerned for the Braves and Dodgers. Never know, might see these guys in a wild card matchup or a division / wild card matchup, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% clear on all the tiebreakers and how they'll be decided. If the Dodgers win today, the season series will be 3-3, so they would have to revert to something else. Runs scored, I don't know. Or is there a 1-game playoff, if that's what it meant?
Well, you're at the time of the year where you really want to win every series. You want to take care of the series at home. Potential playoff matchup. You want to try to win the season series, so it has all those elements. And you guys have talked a lot about the atmosphere that's been here over the course of this homestand. It's starting to take on more and more of that playoff type thing. So hey, the players know all that, and that adds a little bit of extra to what's going on, and it makes them, they want to win this series. It's you know, it's a big deal. They want to, no question about it.
I seem to remember reading something about if the teams are tied, Joe, and maybe Chan can look this up, record within your own division. Maybe
a second tiebreaker.
The second tiebreaker after the head-to-head. I'm not positive about that.
I know that in the past, if you tied for the division lead with a team, let's say the Nationals and the Braves tied, that it does not go to head-to-head anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I was told that today, and need to get confirmation of that, but there would actually be a 1-game playoff to determine who is the division winner and who might be the wild card.
High fly ball to right. Pretty well hit. Ethier going back on the warning track, has enough room. Bourne just missed his 10th homer.
I thought he got it. Fastball, middle of the plate, maybe a little outer third. A little wind blowing that way too. Just short. Back to that Washington series. The Braves are just 4-8 against the Nats this year, but they're 3-3 at Nationals Park.
Had that great 4-game series last time we were there, including that split doubleheader with Washington. And the Nats are playing great baseball. And so are the Braves. It'll be a lot of fun.
Now the Braves won the first 2 games of that series and were leading in Game 3. Couldn't hold on, and then the Nationals won Game 4.
So then what's the format if you have 3 teams tied at the end of the year?
That's what I'd like to know.
I mean,
yeah.
There's a very real possibility the way this thing is shaping up.
You bet. And there's only 1 day off between regular season and the beginning of wild card playoffs. So I don't know how they're going to handle that. I think if there really is supposed to be a playoff between the 2 teams that tie for the division championship.
Fly ball right side. Ethier gives chase, checks the wall, won't have a play.
I kind of think that's a waste of time. Spend time playing that game before you get to the postseason, because you basically already had a 19-game playoff during the season.
Yeah, it would seem to make sense if you had 3 teams tied, 2 within the same division. You'd go head-to-head with the 2 teams in the same division, and then the odd man out plays the wild card game.
Right. Makes way too much sense.
And I've said it a lot. I think the only way you're going to solve this particular part of the scheduling problem is you're going to have to start scheduling some double headers during the regular season. I know the players don't like to hear about that. I know
TV people don't like to hear about that. I know the ball clubs don't like to think about losing Gates as Toronto rolls 1 to second. But to create the flexibility at the end of the season so that you can play these potential playoff games has to be factored in going forward, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think doubleheaders are. I mean, I know players don't like it, but I mean, it seemed to me if you did it in such a way where you did them on Sundays and it was a getaway day for both teams, and you're staying on the east, the same time zone where you not have to, deal with time zones. And the flip side is maybe you get an extra day off here or there to build into the back end of the schedule. I don't think the players would be all that against doing it, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it as to whether or not the players want to do it.
And baseball has already acknowledged that if you do have makeup doubleheaders, the stress that puts on your ball club, teams can bring up a player for that doubleheader, right? 26th roster spot.
I think for most guys, I mean, look, you take this game for example. Both teams know they're here. They're going to be spending the day here anyway. They're traveling after the game. What difference does it make if they play 2 games? I mean, obviously with the Dodgers going back to the West Coast, that's a big deal. But if they were staying in this time zone, I don't think it's all that big a deal. I think it's a bigger deal knowing that the clubs are losing the gate.
Oh, yeah, and you could split it. You could do a split doubleheader if you wanted to.
Sure. Now that they probably wouldn't. Players wouldn't be too thrilled with that, but we can do like we did in the minor leagues, 2 7-inning games.
Fly ball foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jason.
I was personally thinking more like 2 5-inning games, but
that'd be okay too.
I'd settle for 7.
I don't know if they still do that in the minor leagues or not. But.
Cummings has done a good job of keeping the ball down. Hasn't thrown any hangers. He hasn't made any mistakes with his cutter, except the one pitch to Bourne that was a fastball that rode out over the plate a little bit.
Tried to tie him up inside and missed. Full count. Braves still looking for their first hit. We're in the 4th inning. Jason putting up a good fight.
Sure is. Dodgers have talked about this at the very beginning of this series about pitching Jason away. They feel like he stands so far off the plate they can pitch him away and be successful. I of course argue that he stands off the plate so that you will pitch him away because he likes the ball out there. But so far so good for the Dodgers on this. He's 1 for 9 in the series.
Not anymore. He's ripping that ball to the right center field gap, and look at Jason run. Cuts the bag at second. On his way to third with a triple and 2 out.
Great at bat.
They hung in there, spoiled a couple of really good fastballs away after they tried to crowd him in. Billingsley tried to come back with that backdoor slider and curveball and caught too much of the plate. And I was a little bit disappointed that ball got wedged underneath the wall out there because I wanted to see if there was going to be a relay and throw to third.
11 pitch at bat
And he didn't miss that breaking ball. It was one of the first hangers he's thrown.
So here's Freeman with 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. This is where Freddie has shined all year on our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
Kyle Seager, a guy you don't hear much about in Seattle, had a heck of a year for the Mariners. And just about any RBI stat you throw up there, Miguel Cabrera is going to be on there somewhere.
Two balls and a strike. So Hayward has the first Braves hit. He's the first runner to reach third today for Atlanta. And Freddie Freeman looking for his first hit of the series. Chance to give Mike Minor a 1-run lead. Or maybe more than that. He pitched around Freeman and now faces Dan Uggla, who's 1 for 18 against Billingsley.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's not wasted on Chad knowing that Dan's never had much success against him. He's already at 29 pitches this inning as Rick Honeycutt goes out to give him a breather. Remember, Don Mattingly not in the dugout, serving the second game of his 2-game suspension. Trey Hillman is running the club.
Last night, Don was sitting up in the press box. I can't tell if he's up here again tonight. Sitting with Ned Colletti, the general manager of the Dodgers. Tommy, when Bobby was suspended, he comes in the press box.
Well, suspended, I don't know. When he got kicked out of a game, not so much. No, he was sitting in his own little press box downstairs with a couple of TVs watching the game. But I guess they would. When they're suspended, they're not even allowed in uniform, right?
I don't think so.
So here's Uggla, runners at the corners, 2 out. He swings the first pitch and pops it up. And Rivera at first is there, and that'll retire the side. Atlanta had him first and third with 2 outs, but we still have a scoreless duel heading to the 5th. It's the top of the 5th inning as we welcome you back to Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South. Our broadcast today is brought to you by your Atlanta Hyundai dealers. Make every Sunday a Hyundai Sunday on Fox Sports South. Joe, Tom, and Chip. Tom Hart along as well. Joe's been furiously investigating baseball's postseason tiebreakers. So might be able to clear that up for you here as the Dodgers bat in the 5th inning against Mike Minor.
Give us a little synopsis.
My feverish work pales by comparison to that of Chan's, who has been digging this up. But he did find this on MLB.com. And it says, division titles and wild card berths will now be decided by a 163rd game play-in if necessary. So if the Braves and Nationals tied, there would be a one-game playoff to determine the division winner, as this reads.
Who would get home field?
I'll keep looking.
You'll keep investigating?
I'm not sure.
Researching?
The old coin flip? I don't know. Maybe that would be decided by head-to-head.
I remember talking with Ed Lynch, the former Cubs general manager, about the old coin flips. And we were in Washington, as a matter of fact, and 1998, the Cubs were fighting down the stretch with the Rockies and the Giants, and they had the coin flip, and one of the beat writers asked Ed, as Rivera fouls away, well, what'd you call? I called tails. Well, we lost. Well, how could you call tails? I'm sure if there are no more coin flips, the general managers will be real happy about that.
Well, see, that's the way I think all the news services are about this Strasburg issue. They don't really care one way or the other whether he pitches.
Another chance for Hayward and Wright. He's been busy today. Battles the sun and hauls it in.
I think they could care less whether or not Steven Strasburg continues to pitch or if the Nationals bench him, so to speak. They just can't wait to see who was wrong and then jump on that and then scream at Mike Rizzo or yell about whoever was arguing the other side.
Well, it's certainly generating a ton of publicity for the Nationals. If you believe the old saying that any publicity is good publicity, then this particular conversation is maybe the biggest in baseball for the last 4 to 6 weeks.
So let's go back to the wild card thing again. Help me with this scenario. Make sure I got it right. Giants and Dodgers tie for the division, and they all three are tied with the Pirates, and the Braves have secured the first wild card spot. So the Dodgers and Giants play, and the loser goes home, and the Pirates are in as the wild card, or do they play? Does the loser then play the Pirates?
Well, it used to be that 163rd game counted in the standings.
So you could lose that game and be out.
You could lose that game and be out.
Right.
And Pittsburgh would be in. That's the way it used to be. I don't know if it's still that way. But the 163rd game always was a standings counter.
And it was my understanding. Again, my understanding was the loser of that first wild card would then have to go play the other team as this ball is launched by Luis Cruz.
Who is this guy?
And he gives the Dodgers a 1-0 lead.
I don't know, but they might be saying D. Gordon who out there right about now.
That ball landed in the walkway separating the field and terrace level.
That was scalded, and Martin never moved.
It wasn't down below the knees like the base hit. It was above the knees, and I mean the ball is jumping off this guy's bat. A little time in the big leagues with the Pirates, but otherwise kind of a journeyman, and was in Albuquerque this year. He hit 8 home runs for Albuquerque, drove in 46 runs.
24th homer surrendered by Minor, and now A.J. Ellis with a 1-out single. And it brings up Chad Billingsley. So the wild card postseason stuff, that's why the scheduling is such a nightmare potentially for baseball, their television broadcast partners. And frankly, the fans, you could literally have 2 or 3 tiebreaker games before you get to the final 4 teams in each league.
Well, I think for the fans, it'd be great. I think they'll be going crazy thinking about these one and out games. Okay, here I've done some more work.
We're going to have this figured out before we leave here today.
I've reached over and gotten this information from Chan, so I'm working real hard. Let's check in with Tom first. He probably has some more info.
All right, guys, if there's a head-to-head tie for a wild card spot, the second tiebreaker is intradivisional. The third is your second half record, not after the All-Star break, but second half, your record in the final 81 games. This is an interesting one. The fourth tiebreaker, if it gets that far, is the reverse order of results from game 162, with the exception of games that you've played against each other.
Oh, so it's like a golf playoff.
From the 8, and you take your
From
score
18th
from
hole
18
back.
back. Right.
Now, there's another interesting scenario. If there is a 3-way tie for the 2 wild card spots, after they work through the various tiebreakers, teams will be determined Team A, B, and C. Team A gets the choice of either a bye or having to play the next game on the road. So Team B would be the home field in most scenarios, but they would have to play 2 must-win games, and Team A would only have to play 1, though that one would be on the road.
Got it.
Clear as mud.
No, I got that.
I was going to say, you got that? Because I sure don't.
No, I got it.
Good job, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm not sure if it would be fun or if my head would be spinning if I was a part of that conference room that sat down with this and said, okay, what if this happens? What are we going to do? And what if this happens? What are we going to do? Because they think about all these scenarios, and but there always ends up being something at the end of the day where everybody says, well, why did they do that?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they can't win no matter what.
Billingsley tried to bunt and instead singles to right with 1 out. And Los Angeles has runners at first and third. The throw was not cut off, but no advance by the pitcher. And Los Angeles in business, already leading 1-0.
Couldn't get a bunt down, but he gets a base hit on a ball. Pitch was up and out of the zone, but it was up. So Mike pitched out of the bases loaded, nobody out, jam in the third, and has given up a homer here and in some more trouble.
Victorino's 0 for 2. He bounced out to third and he popped to shallow right back in the third inning. That came with the bases loaded. Shane's a tough guy to double up. He's hitting 4 double plays. He had 458 at bats. One ball, 2 strikes. A whiff would work too. Popped him up. Freddie Freeman in foul ground will take care of Victorino.
Well, those were 2 good jobs by Minor on Victorino in back-to-back at bats for him. One with the bases loaded, nobody out, and that one with a runner at third and Less than 2 outs. Well done.
He bared down and made some good pitches against Shane right there, and the at bat before that, and the bases loaded inning. So, chance to get out of this inning without further damage and keep it to 1 run.
Ellis is the man that Mike doubled up with the bases loaded in the 3rd. Fly ball left center. Bourne on the run, slowing under, has it. Minor again allows just 1 run.
Always makes you feel good when the ball's in the air towards center, though, doesn't it?
You bet. Minor's done a heck of a job of minimizing potential damage today. Only a Luis Cruz homer. The run scoring today. Our AT&T Uverse trivia question has to do with long balls by the Dodgers. Matt Kemp hit 39 homers last year. Name the last Dodger to hit 40 or more in a single season.
First guy that came to mind, I wrote it down so Gretchen wouldn't get mad in case somebody tried to text me. Raul Mondesi, first guy I could think of.
I'm going Gary Sheffield.
Well, that's a good call. I'm staying with my partner, Joe Simpson.
Okay.
But you pointed at Tom.
No, I pointed at you.
Neither one. There you go.
Shoot.
Another one I forgot played there.
Yeah. Sheffield hit 43 in 2000. Beltre did it in 2004. I don't see Mr. Mondesi on here.
Oh, Sean Green, too. That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about him doing it.
49. Hit 49 in 2001. And then rode off into the sunset somewhere.
Juan Francisco starts the 5th. You got to be a big boy to hit 40 or more home runs playing 80-something games at Dodger Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Juan's got enough thump to do that. He's popped out in his lone at bat against Billingsley. Fly ball, shallow center. Kemp will make the play for out number 1. One more side note, fellas, to our playoff tiebreaker wild card discussion is something, Joe, you were talking about during break, and that is there an easier way to deal with all this stuff with a change to the way the schedule is put together?
Yeah, I have a complaint. And it's one that it's about the balanced schedule, unbalanced schedule. I think, to be fair to everybody, that baseball has to go back to a balanced schedule, and especially when you've got 2 wild card teams that are vying for spots. And here's why. If you look at the Braves, who are vying for right now for a wild card spot, they're in the East. In the Central, you've got Pittsburgh and St. Louis, who are viable candidates. And in the West, you've got the Dodgers, Giants, and Arizona. But if you look at in this unbalanced schedule, the Braves are going to be playing largely teams in the East, and the last place clubs in the East are Philadelphia and Miami. That's way better than the Cubs and Astros, who are last place teams in the Central. So take a look at this. If you're playing a lot of your games at the end of the year in your division, the worst teams in the East are 21 games below 500. The two worst teams in the Central are 68 games below 500. In the West, 46 below.
A little pop at his shallow left, but Victorino will catch that.
So
is out
without knowing all those teams that I just mentioned, Pittsburgh, LA, St. Louis, Arizona, and San Francisco, without knowing exactly how the end of their schedule fits, you just look at that graphic that I just showed you, and it looks like the other two divisions have a much easier time of it than, say, a team from the East. And I don't think that's fair.
And I couldn't agree with you more. And I've said as much ever since we started doing the wild card. If you're going to do a true wild card, then everybody ought to be playing the same schedule. And it just, you know, when you're not, it opens the whole thing up for criticism and fairly, because every year you look at one division and say, well, that division's weaker, that team has an advantage. And it might not be the same division every year. You know, same thing if you want to take it a step further and look into the interleague play.
Exactly.
You want to be playing, you want to be trying to win against the Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles, you know, those guys, or are you going to be, you know, playing somebody else in a weaker division? I mean,
fly ball to center. And Giannis will be the third and final out. We'll continue that discussion as we head to the sixth inning. Los Angeles has a 1-0 lead. The Dodgers in the series, I would have said no chance.
I would have said good. Braves will have a good weekend.
Right? Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South is brought to you in part by Georgia Power, by Sherwin-Williams, by Toyota, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's the sixth inning. Los Angeles leads 1-0. A Luis Cruz homer is the only run. The Braves have one hit. That was a Jason Hayward fourth inning triple. And Matt Kemp rolls the first pitch to third. Close play, but Matt is out number one.
Yeah, if you looked at this and said, hey, Matt Kemp is 0 for 10 in the series, Andre Ethier is 1 for 9, you'd feel pretty good about yourself. You had things under control.
Miner's done a terrific job today of pitching out of some messes. Bases loaded, nobody out in the third. And then after the homer, 2 on with 1 out in the 5th. The Braves just haven't been able to score for him in his last 3 starts, including today. Braves have given him almost nothing with which to work.
How about this for the year? In 11 of his 22 starts, when he's in the game, the Braves have scored 2 or fewer runs. So that's trying to make pressure-packed pitches in close ball games in half your starts, just trying to keep your head above water. That's tough duty.
And we talk about it all the time. There's always somebody every year that's that guy. And when you're going through that type of year, it's not a lot of fun. It's stressful. You feel like you're living and dying every inning, every pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Hanley Ramirez.
That's why sometimes you've got to look past the overall 6-9 record and the ERA and all those things and take a little bit better look at what's going on. And I don't think there's any arguing that over the course of the season, Mike's gotten better and grown up more and become more and more consistent every time out.
And to your point, Tom, coming in to today, Mike had allowed 11 earned runs in his last 44 innings. And counting today's work, that's 12 earned runs in 49 1/3.
Well, we showed the splits too early on. His first 10 and his last 12. So he's making that progression and going out there and giving these guys a chance to win every time out. He may not be getting the results.
Another chance for Jason Hayward. He'll gallop onto the warning track. That ball carried deep to right for Hanley Ramirez, but 2 are out.
That swing not only shows you how strong Hanley Ramirez is, but it also goes to his point of contact that we talked about earlier in this series, about getting the ball out front. This pitch is riding away from him, tailing away from him, but he got it out front. Didn't let it get too deep and almost hit it out of the park.
Andre Ethier has struck out twice.
It's not the same stance. Talking about back to Ramirez, it's not the same stance as what George Brett and Carlton Fisk and some others employed with a Charlie Lau type stance, but it's the same theory about getting extended, especially with that top hand coming off and a full extension with the bottom hand.
Big hop. Freddie Freeman the feed to Mike Minor, who sends this game to the last of the 6th inning. Mike will take matters into his own hands, down a run. Well, here's why we chop. Good ball game at Turner Field in Atlanta. Bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Minor, Michael Bourne, and Martin Prado are due up. The Braves Summer Concert Series presented by Coca-Cola and Delta will welcome Leonard Skinner on Saturday, September 1st, and OAR on Saturday, September 15th for free post-game concerts. Visit Braves.com or call 800-745-3000 for ticket information. We started the day talking about the role that Chad Billingsley is on for the Dodgers. He has continued that so far through 5 innings. Dodger right-hander came into play today, 5-0 with a 156 earned run average in his last 5 games. He's allowed 1 hit through 5 innings against the Braves. And Cruz a momentary stumble at third. And that takes care of Mike Minor for the first out.
Those 5 games, he beat St. Louis in St. Louis 5-3, gave up 1 run. At San Francisco, shut them out for 7 1/3, beat them 10-0. At home against the Cubs, beat them 6-1, gave up the 1 run. Colorado, he gave up 4 runs, but won the game 6-4, and then shut out Pittsburgh for 8 and won that one 11-0. Yeah, he's getting some runs to work with. He's not giving up anything.
Yeah, maybe he's another guy like Mike Minor that's starting to take a step forward. You look at his career numbers, he's right around a 500 pitcher for his major league career. Wonder how that's possible with his stuff and his ballpark. And that one gets through the wickets. Michael Bourne singles with 1 out and extends his hitting streak to 9 games.
Croquet shot right here. You're right, though, Chip. His first 2 years, good years for LA. Actually, his first 3, 7-4, then 12-5, and then 16-10. But then very much a 500 pitcher since.
Yeah, 12-game winner, 16-game winner. I think he's going to start taking off a little bit, but yeah, he's kind of been stuck in that 500 range the last 3 years, and I don't know. We were talking about it before the game. I've always liked this kid's stuff and thought that he should be a little bit more of a dominant, certainly better than a 500 type pitcher.
Well, he leads by the thinnest of margins today with a fast man at first, Michael Bourne. Martin Prado, the hitter, with 1 out. And he's running. The pitch is low. The throw to second, high, and Bourne somehow was able to hold the bag.
I love the fact that he went on the first pitch. It gives Martin time to work. The throw from Ellis, quick but high, and hang on. Hard over the top of the bag. Barely able to keep that hand on there. That's number 33.
Ground ball to the right side. That'll cost the Braves their second out. Bourne at third. And here's Jason Hayward.
Even on the triple Jason hit his last time up, it was obvious they were trying to keep the ball away from him. They're trying to throw him a backdoor breaking ball, but they got too much of the plate. Let's see if they stay away from him here with the tying run at third.
Well, my guess is they're going to have to show him something in to keep him honest out there.
There was something, and it was a strike. Wind blowing straight out to right. Looking at the flags above the chop house.
Hit it high, watch it fly, perhaps for Jason in this 6th inning. One and two.
steady dose of pitches inside this time around, and teams will do that sometimes too. If they think they can get you out in and they want to, in a crucial situation, they're going to try to get you out in, they may not show you that until they get to that situation. So this could be the first time they've really had it. You know, up until then, you might pitch him away thinking, well, we'll give him some base hits and things of that nature if he's able to stay on that pitch. But in a crucial run scoring situation or something like that, we know, or at least we think we can get him in outside or out inside. So we're going to hold on to that until we have to go there.
Got his arms extended that time and launched it foul to the left side. 2-2.
They tried to go in there again and threw it right down the middle.
He sure did. Billingsley, as soon as that ball was hit, he turned his back on home plate like, oh, brother.
That's one you're happy to get back.
I saw Jason's reaction too. Wishes he had another chance. Getting over. Billingsley strands another Braves runner at third base and protects a 1-run lead going to the 7th. What a ball game. Through 6, the Dodgers enjoy a 1-0 lead. And both these ball clubs leave Atlanta after play today. The Dodgers head back to play the Giants. The Braves head to Washington to face the Nationals. And here's our Chevron starting pitching matchup.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be a real battle up there at Nationals Park. Tim Hudson's been pitching great, been getting a lot of run support. That will be tough to come by tomorrow against Zimmerman. Braves haven't seen him this year.
Juan Rivera looks downstairs, and the count to him even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now 3 balls and a strike. Mike hasn't had many deep counts like this. To this point, hasn't walked anybody either.
You certainly don't want to walk this guy with the way Cruz has been swinging the bat this series.
And a little flare towards second. And Ugla with a spinning, twirling move. Hangs on. And Rivera's robbed. That's out number one.
Might have been a knuckler. Turned right and come back left. Nice recovery. All right, how do you pitch him?
Awesome curveball.
Tell him what's coming.
Yeah.
He's 6 for 9 in the series with a couple of homers. Jason's going to catch this one. 2 outs. Get the second limited edition Chipper Jones commemorative print presented by SunTrust, highlighting Chipper's 1999 MVP award. Hard to believe, folks, there's only 16 regular season home games left for Chipper Jones. So get your tickets now. Friday, August 31st at Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000. The Phillies will be the first team in when we return from our long road trip. Then Colorado for 4 games.
Durbin loosening up. 3 things at play, I believe, when Mike Minor hit for himself last inning. 1, it's only a 1-0 game. And 2, he's pitching great. Gave up a homer, and that's about it. He's pitched out of some tough jams, too. But also with this 6-man rotation, puts a little taxing effort on your bullpen if you have to go down there too quickly, and I think that might be the prime consideration.
One ball, 2 strikes to A.J. Ellis. There's 2 for 2. In fact, it's the bottom of the Dodger order that's done most of the damage today. In fact, they've done all of it. Cruz 2 hits, Ellis 2 hits, and Billingsley 1. The rest of Dodgers been shut down today. Francisco's got it at third, and Ellis's perfect day comes to an end. Mike Minor's pitching a beauty. Let's get this kid a couple of runs as we head to the 7th inning stretch. Seventh inning stretch in Atlanta. And the Dodgers enjoy a 1-0 lead. Billingsley and Miner both have pitched beautiful baseball today.
It's Billingsley that's got the upper hand, though. A 2-hit shutout working. Got a little help from Luis Cruz on the home run, but otherwise, Mike Miner has been outstanding. And I believe still under 100 pitches, too, at 97.
And Billingsley back to the mound to face the middle of the Braves order, Freeman, Ugla, and Francisco in inning number 7. As we told you, the Braves head to the road. We go to Washington Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then to San Francisco for a 4-game series with the Giants. Then next weekend play the Padres at Petco Park. And then are back home at Turner Field Friday, August 31st to take on the Phillies. Good tickets available for that weekend set. We hope you'll join us. Told you we'll have the Leonard Skinner concert after the game on Saturday. And always great to see the Phillies in town as the Braves trying to move closer toward the Eastern Division title and a potential playoff spot.
Tom, you brought up a good question earlier today between innings about who the Cardinals play at the end of the season. We know the Braves are going to be at Pittsburgh. That certainly has some playoff ramifications. And the Dodgers are playing at home against the Giants. That might have not just divisional but playoff ramifications. And then it turns out that St. Louis in the Central Division will be playing Cincinnati. So those last 3 games, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in October, there could be some huge turnarounds in the standings for playoff positions.
Well, potentially that could play out to exactly what Major League Baseball wants when they do these wild card things and expand it. Man, you go into that last 3 games of the season and you got that interest in those, 6 cities right there? Mm-hmm. Boy, oh boy, that could be some kind of fun.
Atlanta leads the wild card race. Pittsburgh, for the moment, would be the second wild card of the National League. Their lead in that category, 1/2 game over the Dodgers. The Cardinals are 1 game back for the second wild card and 5 behind Atlanta overall in the wild card chase. So Freddie Freeman starts things off in the Atlanta 7th. Freddie has grounded to short and has walked. It's only a 1-run game. Braves have 2 hits. And rolled foul for an even count. The Nationals are hoping to host the Mets today. They are still in a rain delay at Nationals Park. Fly ball, well hit toward right, but it's playable for Ethier. 1 out.
You were talking about the way they pitched Hayward last inning, Tom, and they have lived in Freddie Freeman's kitchen in this series. If you pitch Freddie down and in, he'll drop the bat on you and wear you out. But they have tied him up just like on that pitch where his hands can't get the barrel to the ball quick enough.
And the other thing I think they've done well, too, is you're right. You don't want to throw him a strike down and in. But they have been willing to go down and in off the plate so that when Freddie does swing at that pitch, he keeps wearing out the Braves dugout.
Pop back our way off the bat of Dan Ugla. And strike 1.
Watch what they do to Freddie's hands here. Target inside. Billingsley comes in. And Freddie has to collapse that bottom hand. He has to bend the elbow. He can't get it extended. And as a result, can't get much on the swing. Very effective what Billingsley and the Dodgers have done to him.
Dan backed away from that pitch and it was called a strike.
Baird back on that one. 93.
Another fly ball to right. And another catch for Ethier. 2 outs.
Francisco's popped to third. He's popped to center.
I think there are teams who, when Francisco's playing, they think, okay, good, Chipper's not in there. And they kind of get through Hayward, Freeman, and Ugla, and they think, okay, I can get this guy and go to the dugout. I don't think they know how much power he has.
There's a single to right.
They're quickly learning, but he can hit.
Yeah, he can't hit. And breaking ball mistake out over the plate, but you're right, Joe. That happens all the time. You see, you know, especially from a pitcher standpoint. You know, the guy that's pitching the day game after a night game, and you know there's going to be some guys out of the lineup, and probably in this case you're thinking, all right, Chipper's going to be out of the lineup, and yeah, there's a tendency a lot of times to say, okay, well, Chipper's out of the lineup, so I don't have to worry about him. So now, instead of maybe worrying about Chipper and Jason Hayward, now I got to worry about Hayward and Freddie Freeman, and you kind of forget about that other guy.
Yeah.
And he's the guy that turns around and comes back and bites you.
Shift is on for Brian McCann with 2 outs. You missed our conversation earlier. Brian said after the game last night that he has a cyst in the joint of his right shoulder, also has a frayed labrum, and has struggled at the plate in August.
Says it doesn't hurt to throw, or he has said that. There are some swings that bite him when he gets that top hand off, gets too far extended on an off-speed pitch, or gets fooled, swing and a miss. He feels it, but he is scuffling this month compared to last month when he really had it working.
They give him the whole third base line. And he turns and pulls that ball foul. 2-1 your count.
And just 4 for his last 38.
Not much stress for Billingsley in those 100 pitches. And a bouncer to the right side. And that retires Atlanta in the 7th inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. The Braves have stranded 4 and trail 1-0.
two teams that tie for the division, and then 2 wild cards.
Dodgers lead on a Luis Cruz homer. And don't miss out on the Braves Father-Daughter Day, Saturday, September 1st. Again, the Phillies are in town. A lot of happenings on September 1. And in that weekend series with Philadelphia, tickets start at $20 each and include a special Father-Daughter Day t-shirt and access to a pregame parade. Juan Uribe announced as a pinch hitter for the Dodgers. With that, Freddy Gonzalez goes and gets Mike Minor, who gave up 1 run in 7 innings. Into the bullpen we go as we head to the top of the 8th inning. I know it's cold comfort, and probably for Mike Minor it's getting tiresome to hear, but he did pitch another terrific ball game for the Braves. But again, in his last 3 starts, Atlanta's given him a grand total of 2 runs of support.
Yeah, I mean, and it's unfortunate. And, you know, I know from his standpoint, I know because I've been there, you can only take the pat on the back, hey, you pitched great, tough luck, for so long. I mean, your job's to go out there and win. It's like a guy who's gone 0 for his last 15 and lined out every single time. Sooner or later, you want to start having some results. And so, you know, it's another one of those ones that Mike's going to have to swallow a little bit and realize that in the bigger picture, he's making huge strides. And, you know, in this 6-man rotation and competition and who's going to be standing at the end, he's certainly done himself some good work there.
So Chad Durbin relieves him in this 8th inning. He'll face Juan Uribe, whose playing time has evaporated with the emergence of Cruz for the Dodgers. And he takes a knee-high strike.
And for my money, I would have liked to have seen Freddie at least give Mike one more hitter. Wouldn't be too worried about Uribe hitting a home run off him. See if he can get through this inning and give him a shot.
Well, it's one of his better outings, and it's another outing where he didn't walk a batter. He only struck out 2, but maybe that speaks to the way he's pitching now and not just throwing. Doesn't have to rely on strikeouts as much.
And best evidence of that, I think, was the 3rd inning. Bases loaded, top of the order for the Dodgers coming up. He gets Victorino to pop out, and Ellis hit into an inning-ending double play with no runs.
97 pitches. And I believe that's where Hudson was the other night when he came out.
Check swing, rolled foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Buzzed him inside, didn't get the call. Full count.
To your point earlier, Tommy, about the decisions they have to make when D. Gordon comes back. Who plays short, who plays third. I don't think Uribe is going to be in that discussion. Not hitting 185 or whatever he's hitting. Had a couple of years back to back that have been a struggle.
But no, I mean, look, I guarantee you the Dodgers are happy they're going to be faced with that decision and having to have that discussion. It's like we talk about all the time. The more depth, the more versatility you have, the better you are.
And Durbin loses Uribe to start the 8th inning. And now the top of the Dodger order is coming up in the form of Shane Victorino. Atlanta's bullpen this month has been spectacular. Relief Corps 4-0, a 1.07 earned run average in August. They have given up just 5 earned runs in 42 innings of relief pitching. Big advantage to employ down the stretch. And it may get busier as Victorino bats. Uribe's running, and a hit and run executed perfectly. Victorino fills the gap vacated by Paul Janisch, who is moving to cover second. And the Dodgers have runners at the corners with nobody out.
That doesn't happen very often, where you still go first to third on a base hit that gets through the left side. But this one was hit enough into left center that it allowed Uribe to take third base. That's why you like your shortstop to cover, because if somebody tries on a hit and run to go to left field, it's awfully hard to get to third base when the left fielder's picking the ball up.
So 2 on, nobody out for Ellis, who's 0 for 3 today. You know, Chad's thinking about that 2-strike pitch to Uribe that was called a ball and appeared to be a ball. Then the walk, then the hit by Victorino. Popped up. Hayward battling the sun. Can't find it. Lost it. Uribe scores. And Victorino stops at second. Heavy cloud cover all day today. But Jason just lost it in the sun.
Well, he had one earlier that looked like he lost too, and found a way to make the catch.
The other part is running. He can't try and find the ball and put the glove up. He's trying to use his bare hand as he's running, so his eyes are bouncing up and down a little bit. That makes it doubly tough, and then it's right in the sun. What a tough break, because Durbin had made a good pitch. Looked like it was going to be an easy first out of the inning.
So Los Angeles extends its lead at 2-0, and here's Kemp. He swings the first pitch. Born in center. And no advance by Victorino. 1 out. That's just got to be an awful feeling as an outfielder.
It's horrible. And you try to find, if you're under it and you know you're in the vicinity, you got a chance because you block the sun out and you hope that the ball will come out of the sun somewhere, one way or the other, where you're able to glove it. But when you're running and the ball stays in the sun, it's like you're running to a spot where it's never going to move out of the sun.
Ball went inside to Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah, that helpless feeling of everybody in the ballpark thinks you have it. You have no idea where it is, and oh, by the way, you're hoping it doesn't hit you in the mouth on the way down.
And there's a runner at third.
Yeah, if the ball's hit toward the right center field gap, you've got a chance maybe with help from your center fielder, Michael Bourne. The ball was down the line, and Jason was all by his lonesome.
So 2-0 to Hanley Ramirez. And this one's popped on the infield at first. Freddie Freeman's got that.
This is the third straight start for Mike Minor where the Braves have not scored any runs while he's been in the game. It's a tough break for Durbin at that run he scored because he made a good pitch and looked like he was going to get an out from Ellis.
Dodgers, though, their AT&T call to the bullpen as Minor, Durbin, and now Luis Avilan pitch for the Braves today.
Luis had a perfect 7th inning last night. 2 fly ball outs and a ground out. Did not face Andre Ethier. Keep saying it every time he comes in, though. He's been impressive. No major league experience prior to his call up. A guy used mostly as a starter this year. He's fit right in.
No chance for Brian McCann. Wild pitch, and 2 Dodgers in scoring position now.
That wasn't so good, though.
Well, makes it a little bit tougher on your infielders now, taking away the force play.
Seen that before to Ethier. That front door breaking ball that he tends to flinch on. You don't want to do it too many times.
Now you don't know if that 50-foot slider in the dirt on the first pitch had anything to do with that, but
.226 average for Ethier against left-handers. .319 against right-handers.
Three balls and a strike.
Braves have Christian Martinez warming up in the bullpen, a right-hander. They got Rivera on deck, the base open, and a 3-1 count. Typically here 3-1 even with the lefty-lefty matchup, you're not going to want to make a real good pitch here.
You don't want to throw anything down the middle, and if you do end up walking him, then you have to make a decision. Do you want Avalon facing Rivera or potentially Martinez facing Loney?
Right.
Ethier takes ball 4 to load the bases. That's going to do it for Luis Avilan. He will walk the lone man he was assigned. And Rivera is expected to be the Dodger hitter. Showed you Christian Martinez warming up. Might have a double switch as well. Looks like Reed Johnson's going to come into the game. We'll tell you about Christian Martinez when we return. Braves have used 1, 2, 3 pitchers now in this 8th inning. And the third man to work is Christian Martinez, who answers the AT&T call to the bullpen. What was scheduled to be a righty-righty matchup with Juan Rivera won't take place. Looks like James Loney is going to grab a bat and come on to hit for Los Angeles. Loney, a terrific glove man. LA already in front. They go with the lefty bat and get the better glove for the final 2 innings.
Christian worked last night as well. An inning. He worked the 8th inning, and he had a perfect inning. Did not face James Loney.
Another defensive change or two for the Braves. Reed Johnson checks into play left field. He'll bat in the 9 spot for Atlanta. Freddy Gonzalez wants to keep Martin Prado's bat in the game, obviously, so he'll move him into play third base. Juan Francisco's day is complete. So here's Loney, bases full of Dodgers. Only a 2-run game, still very manageable for Atlanta. But Christian's got to get this man.
Loney with only 4 homers, as you see, but 2 have come on this road trip. And hitting over 300 for the trip.
One of those homers came here last night. He was in the middle of 3 in a row for the Dodgers in the 2nd inning. A 4-pitch span led to 3 solo home runs for Los Angeles. That came against Ben Sheets. Victorino, Ellis, and Ethier, the Dodger base runners.
that 2-0 changeup with the bases loaded.
Pretty gutsy pitch. Missed with a couple fastballs and comes back with that changeup right there. Very nice.
Backed it up. Now 2-2.
I believe Loney will be a free agent at the end of the year. I don't believe he's signed beyond this season.
Well, is he going to triple up or go to something else?
Just inside with a fastball, and now the runners will get a head start. 3 balls, 2 strikes. No place to put James Loney in a 2-0 Dodger lead.
I almost feel like Christian has more confidence in throwing a strike with his changeup than anything else, so he's pretty much expected here.
I would agree. If you threw it 2-0, I would think you'd throw it 3-2.
High fly down the right field line. Hayward on the run near the stands, can't get there. We'll do it again.
As far as Jason had to run in an attempt to catch that foul ball, gave me the feeling that they're not really playing Loney that much to pull. But 3-2, and with Christian willing and wanting to throw the changeup, I think I got to play him a little more to pull than they're playing him. Really giving him the right field line.
Line to first. And the inning is over. The Braves have minimized damage all day today. They've allowed 2 runs. One of them in the 8th inning. It's now a 2-0 Dodger game. Six outs left for Atlanta's offense. Down 2-0 now to the Dodgers. Chad Billingsley, 7 shutout innings of 3-hit baseball. And now into Los Angeles' bullpen we go. First man out is Ronald Belisario.
He was mighty impressive here in the first game of this series. The game the Braves won 4-3 in extra innings. He came in the 8th worked an inning and 2/3 overall and struck out 3 of the 4 outs that he recorded. 3 of the 5, I should say.
Giannis is 0 for 2 today. And quickly behind 0-2, as we suspected, James Loney, after that pinch hit appearance, remains in the game to play first base for the Dodgers.
Belisario 95 to 96 in the fastball, and he's got a slider but doesn't throw it very much.
Giannis is caught looking, 1 out. Don't forget to stay with us for Braves Live, presented by AT&T. We'll have post-game sound from Freddie Gonzalez and the rest of the Braves in the locker room today. And we will take a look at all of our highlights. That's Braves Live after we wrap up this series with the Dodgers.
I asked Martin yesterday, I said, hey, what was that all about on Friday night when Belisario came in and brushed you back? He's from Maracay. Martin said, yeah, he lives 5 minutes from me and does that first pitch every time I face him.
Just a little hello, how you doing?
Ray Johnson's 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter for the Braves. He leads all major league pinch hitters this season. See if he can get something going with 1 out. 15 pinch hits. And there are his numbers with the Braves and the Cubs. Two and two. Just past 4 o'clock in Atlanta. Los Angeles with single runs in the 5th and the 8th. Braves had 5 hits last night. They have 3 hits today. The Dodger pitching has been awfully tough. Johnson, a late swing, was fooled and is the second strikeout for Ronald Belisario.
Boy, is that a nasty pitch. 95, outside corner. You can look fooled and not really be fooled on that pitch.
Michael Bourne will try to keep the inning alive. He's walked, he's singled, he's stolen a base. He was left stranded at 3rd in the 6th inning. Jason Hayward was left 3rd in the 4th. There just have not been many chances for the Braves batsmen today.
These two teams are a lot alike, in my opinion. Things they can and aren't very good at. I think they match up well. If they were to meet in the postseason, it would be a heck of a playoff. There's some obvious separations, like in home runs. The Braves have a lot more home runs than the Dodgers, but the Dodgers haven't had Ramirez all year. They haven't had Victorino all year. Starting pitching bullpen, pretty evenly matched.
to left. And that retires the side. Belisario, a perfect bottom of the 8th inning.
We go to the top half of the 9th inning. Dodgers still on top 2-0. Time for a look at today's Toyota plays of the game, and that involves Chad Billingsley, who had the Braves number today for 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. He walked 2, but he pitched around a leadoff walk to start the ball game, and another one in the 4th after Jason Hayward had tripled. And he also struck out 4.
So the 9th starts with Christian Martinez to face Luis Cruz.
And barring a Braves comeback, Billingsley in line for his 6th straight win.
Also be 6 straight years with 10 or more wins for Billingsley, who came in with a 9-9 mark for the Dodgers. And Giannis at short. High throw, but Freddie Freeman takes care of Cruz, who slowed as he got to the first base bag.
And he grabbed the back of his left leg. Davey Lopes pointed to him, looked at the bench and pointed to him. He may have done something to his hammy. He's still kind of holding that spot as he gets to the dugout. Right here.
One out for A.J. Ellis. He's 2 for 3 today. And a quick strike. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, Prado, Hayward, and Freddie Freeman are the scheduled Atlanta hitters.
And that will probably be against Kenley Jansen, who is warming up in their pen, their closer.
Fly ball to right. Again, Jason, look at him battling the sun. And diving try. Did he get it? No, he didn't. And in safely is A.J. Ellis.
Michael Bourne was trying his best to get over there because he knew Jason was in trouble again. And there are clouds, but man, the sun was just peeking through on him. Right there, helpless. Bourne was doing his best, Usain Bolt, to get over there, but he had too far to go.
He's wearing glasses. It's Just amazing how the ball finds you.
Well, and with so many clouds.
Yeah.
Sometimes if the sun is actually shining through the clouds, it's almost worse because it becomes a big glare and makes the sun even bigger.
Yeah, you don't have that one spot that you can just shield.
So Adam Kennedy will hit for Belisario here in the 9th inning. Kennedy with a .250 average for the Dodgers. Into shallow center. Giannis goes out. He can't come up with it on an over-the-shoulder try.
That's too far for him to go.
Yeah, Michael broke back on it, and I don't know how well he saw it after that either.
Right here, Paul's wanting some help. That's a tough play for the shortstop. He made his best effort, but that's not his ball.
Fortunately, Ellis couldn't advance. He's still at second. The double play still in order for Shane Victorino, who's 1 for 4 today. Two balls and a strike.
Tough breaks for Christian this inning, but he's got to pitch through that and make a good pitch right here.
Boy, did he.
He threw a little deke at Victorino, too. Came out of his stretch and really jumped at him, and then threw that 83-mile-an-hour, maybe even slower changeup, and Victorino bought in on the motion. 79-mile-an-hour changeup. Thanks, Chan.
He does seem to have a lot more confidence in that changeup, at least against the the left-handed hitters, when he needs to throw a strike or needs to make a pitch.
The bases are loaded. Two bloops and a walk, and the Dodgers have the bases loaded with 1 out in the 9th and already lead 2-0.
Key hitter right here. Mark Ellis had a base hit his last time up and drove in a run on that ball that was lost in the sun by Hayward, but really got to make a good pitch to him and get an out, because, and hopefully a ground ball that might get you out of the inning, because Matt Kemp is 0 for 11 in this series, and that can't continue. You wouldn't figure.
You wouldn't figure. You hope not to find out. And
yeah,
obviously, the way this game is going, you don't want to put yourself in a position offensively to have to score 3 runs in the 9th inning.
The last time Ellis hit with the bases loaded, he hit into a double play. Will lightning strike twice for Christian Martinez? One ball, no strikes.
Well, time getting ahead.
Things that have gone on, it would certainly be to his advantage to keep the ball on the ground.
That evens the count. One ball, one strike. They are finally underway in Washington, where the Mets are playing the Nationals. New York failed to score in the first. Down the third base line and fair. 2 runs are going to score. Victorino's getting green lighted. He's on his way home. It's a double for Mark Ellis, and the Dodgers break open the game in the 9th inning.
Remember, he was on the disabled list quite a bit during the year with an injured leg, so he doesn't have quite as many at-bats as he would normally have this time of year, but came in with only 19 RBIs in the season. He has 4 today. And the 2 pop-ups really hurt this inning.
Yeah, you can't be giving teams extra outs like that. It's, you know, nobody's fault. It's happened. It's part of the game, but Dodgers got the extra opportunities, and one big swing of the bat right there, they took advantage of it.
And now Matt Kemp is the hitter, 0 for 4 today. 5-0 Los Angeles. A single run in the 8th, 3 here in the 9th.
Kind of weird to say, but maybe the first time in his career that Matt Kemp can't wait to see Bumgarner, Lincecum, and Kane.
One ball, 2 strikes. Scott Elbert now up with the lead, 5-0. Jason Hayward's going to catch this one. Ellis will tag and will head to third. So Matt Kemp did not enjoy his trip to Atlanta, 0 for 12 in the series. Andy Ramirez has had a good series, but today is 0 for 4. Strike 1. One ball, 2 strikes for Hanley Ramirez. Dodgers have been getting it done on the road. They've had a terrific road trip. They're 13-6 away from Dodger Stadium since the All-Star break, averaging nearly 6 runs per game on this road trip. They've got 5 today. And another potential runner 90 feet away in the form of Mark Ellis.
Yeah, and it's no secret why they're scoring more runs. They have a better lineup. They didn't really have a leadoff hitter. They have one now in Victorino. And they have this guy who, depending on where you want him to hit in the order, whether it's cleanup or fifth, depending on a left or right-handed pitcher, deepens the lineup. And then all of a sudden Loney's starting to swing better.
Put that together with their starting pitching and their bullpen, you can see why the Dodgers are neck and neck with the Giants in the West. And Hanley Ramirez and the Dodgers done in the 9th inning. Mother Nature and Mark Ellis certainly helped Los Angeles. They tally 3 in the 9th. It's 5-0. Rally caps are on for the faithful here at Turner Field, and Adam Kennedy is on to play third base for the Dodgers down the stretch. And Scott Elbert takes over on the mound with the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Braves.
See his numbers for the year in his 40th appearance, strikeout per inning. Just a 238 average against him.
Martino for 3. He struck out in the first and has grounded out to second base twice. One ball, no strikes. Elbert, a former #1 Dodger pick back in 2004. '17th pick overall in that draft. He's out of Joplin, Missouri, and Seneca High School. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Buzzed the tower on him 2 nights ago, and then they go after his feet. Takes a little starch out of you when you battled all day and you haven't been able to get any runs across, can't put anything together, but you feel like you're still in it even going to the 9th inning. But may cash in a bases loaded double. It does knock the wind out of your sails.
To short. And Hanley Ramirez takes a peek and makes the play for the first out of the 9th inning.
And really, the Dodger pitching has done a good job this whole series. The Braves had the one home run from Chipper in Game 1. They didn't get anything after that till the 8th inning and tied it, won it in the 11th. And then yesterday, a run in the first inning. And then it was a game filled with men left on base. Got a home run from Martin in the 9th inning that didn't make much of a difference. Made it 6-2 instead of 6-1. So not a whole lot of scoring for Atlanta in this series, and credit the Dodger pitching for a lot of that.
So we've seen the top 2 teams out west. We've seen the Giants, we've seen the Dodgers, and we'll see San Francisco again on the upcoming trip. Your impressions of those 2 clubs, and which one do you think will end up winning the West?
Well, I'll stick with what I said earlier. I think the Giants starting pitching is better. More often than not, over the course of a season, good pitching is going to win out. But the Dodgers are a better team right now, certainly, than they were even a month ago. And they're playing good baseball. And I think they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I think offensively, Dodgers definitely a better ball club. And on paper, yeah, the Giants do have a better rotation, where with Lincecum struggling, and tell you what, with Kershaw and the 3 guys that have thrown in this series where they've been pitching the ball. I mean, if Billingsley continues to do what he's doing, Capuano and Harang give them chances to win, then that might be enough.
Well, they've got the Giants head-to-head 9 times over the final 6 weeks of the season. Again, they start a 3-game series in Los Angeles tomorrow. The final 3 games of the year for the Dodgers, home against the Giants. Jason took a strike. It's a full count.
See dark clouds overhead, but you can see a shadow behind Elbert where the sun's peeking through. Weird day that way for the fielders, especially the right fielder for the Braves. He's had a tough time with balls going in the sun.
Fly ball to left, and Jason's retired for the 2nd out. And the last hope for the Braves is Freddie Freeman, who's hitless in the series. Crowd here today, 26,798. Still hoping for a 2-out rally from Freddie.
I think that's over 100,000 for the 3-game series. It's a good weekend attendance wise.
Next chance to see the Braves and Chipper Jones. The August 31st, the Phillies, then the Rockies, a 7-game home stretch. And that's the ball game. The Dodgers come to Atlanta and take 2 out of 3. The season series split right down the middle. The Braves won 3, the Dodgers won 3. But Los Angeles today fires a 5-0 shutout at the Braves. And we're back to Turner Field after this.